What up, Knicks fans? We have a loaded show coming up today. Trade rumors on Julius Randle and Immanuel Quickley, those coming from SNY. Also, Ian Begley spoke about Tom Thibodeau, and could he be on the hot seat? We'll break all that down, but I want to ask this question. Do you want Julius Randle to be traded? If you do, go down right now and like this video. Shout out to the real ones. You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. If you're tuning in today, you're a real one because the Knicks gave up 145 points to the Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday in a loss in regulation. Unacceptable. Tom Thibodeau, thought you were a defensive coach because you're not a good offensive coach. And at this point, giving up 145 points to the Thunder tells me you're not a good defensive coach. Could his time be running out with the Knicks? We'll break that down. We'll break down Randle, Quickley, Tom Thibodeau on the hot seat, all that in today's show. Make sure you subscribe, hit that big red button, because if news happens, we're going to be going live on the channel. This is what Heavy.com had to say about those Julius Randle trade rumors. Recently, one NBA executive told Heavy Sports insider Sean Devini that another name could emerge, and the Heat, with their need for a power forward, could be a rightful home for New York Knicks big man Julius Randle. After being asked any teams that should or could inquire about Julius Randle's availability, the Miami Heat were linked. For all I care, you could send Julius Randle to the moon. I don't give a shit. The dude is not bought in. He doesn't care about New York. He doesn't care about the Knicks. He doesn't care about Knicks fans. Remember this? He cares about one thing and one thing only, and that is Julius Randle. Everything he's done this year is for Julius Randle. He makes nobody better. He doesn't do anything on the defensive end. And I think he's blocking the growth of players on this team. Trading Randle is an addition by subtraction. I put out a video on my Twitter, at @MarshallGreen_. Go check it out. It's about a minute and a half long. I forgot who tweeted it. I gave it a little retweet. Julius Randle, his lapses on defense are incredible. Helen Keller could play better defense than Julius Randle at times. He's disengaged. He doesn't care. I don't know what it is. But Tom Thibodeau, a guy that always talks about it has to be merit-based if you want to play on the Knicks, he doesn't ever hold Julius Randle accountable. He lets him do whatever he wants. Julius Randle could do nasty things to Tom Thibodeau's family, and Thibodeau would still trot him out in the starting lineup and play him 35 minutes per game and call him the engine to this offense. I don't understand what it is, but the thing that matters the most is trading Randle is addition by subtraction, and Randle is blocking players on this team's growth, like R.J. Barrett, like Cam Reddish, like Obi Toppin, check, Jalen Brunson. There is a redundancy of skills and talent on this team. Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, and Julius Randle. They're lefties. They like to drive left. They like to operate from the free throw line down. Everything that Randle does, someone else could do. Why are we still ISOing Julius Randle? What does that do? It doesn't help you win now, and it doesn't help anybody on your team get better. You have to move on from Julius Randle. He's not helping you win games right now. I honestly think this team would be better without him if you slid Obi Toppin into the starting lineup. I would attach a first-round pick at this point to just get off of Julius Randle's contract. There are some teams, though, that may be interested in Julius Randle. This is what the NBA executive said. He said the Knicks would not trade him just for cap space, just because he's got the big contract. Remember, he is a CAA guy, and CAA is Leon Rose's old agency. But sending him back to the Lakers would be something both sides would probably welcome. But what are the Lakers going to give back? Russell Westbrook? 100% I would trade Julius Randle for Russell Westbrook. And I would waive Russell Westbrook the next day. Trading Randle for Westbrook equals one thing: $47 million in expiring money following this season. That would be a gift for the New York Knicks. You get to move off of Randle, and you get 40. Not only do you get to get off of him, you get to get off of the rest of his deal, which was a joke. The Knicks were the almighty 4 seed, and Randle folded in the playoffs, and we gifted him with a $100 million contract. It's a joke. These stats you see up on screen, they look good, right? 21 points, 9 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 46% from the field, 33% from downtown. Jeffrey Cooperstein asked me today, is Julius Randle back? And I told him, hell no. The stats are very misleading. If you don't watch the games, you will think that Randle is playing fine by being a box score watcher. But all of his buckets come from outside of the flow of the offense. He ISOs. He lollygags on defense. Doesn't play any help defense. He doesn't even really hit the boards that hard on the defensive end. He's a liability out there, in my opinion, and he lets his teammates down on the defensive end and hangs them out to dry every single possession. If you are serious about the buzzword you always use, Tom Thibodeau, culture, then you would move Randle, because he is not conducive to helping the New York Knicks culture. There's only one thing. Culture is the biggest bullshit word in sports. You know what culture is about? It's about winning. You have one culture. It's a winning culture. And right now, the New York Knicks, they don't have a winning culture, and it's because of Julius Randle. I just can't continue to talk about him. It just riles me up too much. So I'll ask you, and then we'll move on. We'll get to the Quickley and the Tom Thibodeau stuff here in a second. Should the Knicks trade Julius Randle? Type Y for yes, or you can go down and type N for no. I do want to tell you about our proud sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is sponsoring today's Knicks Now video. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping with global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to support global reforestation efforts. You can officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane ticket, dating profile. It makes a great last-minute gift, and the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our own little Knicks Now Real One Kingdom. It makes an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually running a massive early Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use the code CHAT, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com to get your gifts now and help support the channel. Grab a plot of Scottish land next to Lord Marshy and Lord Coop. Tom Thibodeau, should get hooked up with Established Title because he ain't coaching like a lord right now. Get started today. establishedtitles.com/chat. We're going to get to those quotes from Ian Begley on Tom Thibodeau here in a second. But let's first go to what Ian Begley and SNY reported over the weekend about the Knicks getting calls on Immanuel Quickley. This is what Ian Begley over at SNY had to say. He said the Knicks have gotten calls from teams about trades involving guard Immanuel Quickley. It is a bit early in the season. Teams don't typically discuss trade earnest until December 15th, when most veteran free agents can be moved. But several teams have talked to the Knicks about a potential trade of Quickley. It's logical to assume that the Knicks would be hesitant to move Quickley, a strong combo guard drafted by the club in 2020. But teams look at the Knicks roster and see a surplus of young players and potential rotational players. There aren't enough minutes for everyone, so teams feel that the Knicks will consider trading off at least one of the young players on their roster as the trade deadline approaches. I kind of agree that the Knicks at some point need to consolidate their assets. The rotation is too big. Wilson Chandler, former Knicks legend, tweeted that out last night. Said the rotation is too big. But I'm only trading IQ if it's a part of a bigger deal. What is IQ going to net you is my question. And the next question is, if you trade IQ, who's your backup point guard? Don't tell me Derrick Rose, because Derrick Rose is not Derrick Rose anymore. Don't tell me Miles McBride, he ain't ready to play big minutes in the NBA. I know Immanuel Quickley's stats this year don't look good at all, right? Shooting 37% from the field and 28% from three. But I love what he's done on the defensive side of the court. He's very, very engaged and active on that end. He's a willing defender, and that's what I love about him. This is a guy that continues to try to make moves on the defensive side of the court. He grows in that area. He always starts off slow, kind of like RJ from the field. But I like what I saw from him in the game from the Thunder. He was instant offense off the bench, and I think that's what he is. I think he's a little bit too hesitant sometimes, especially this year. That wasn't really a thing last year. But I believe in Immanuel Quickley. Am I not going to trade him? No, I'm not going to trade him, but I wouldn't trade him just for a pick or a relief of cap space and you're not willing to sign him this offseason. No, I'm only going to move Quickley if it's a part of a bigger deal where he's a piece in a package to get a start at Madison Square Garden. Trading him just to trade him doesn't make sense. You don't have a backup point guard. You need one. You need one, and it ain't Derrick Rose. I'll ask you, though. I know some people aren't the biggest Immanuel Quickley fans. I'm not saying he's a perfect player. I think he has a lot of room to grow. I think he can be good in the NBA. But he's got to get better at a couple of things, more consistent shooting. But I think he is a winning piece in the NBA. I think he could be a bench guard coming off the bench for a winning team for a really long time. So should the Knicks trade Immanuel Quickley, sound off, type T for trade, type P for pass. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/KnicksTV. We put out videos every single day, on the latest trade rumors, news. Whenever there's game days, we go live. We'll be live for the game tomorrow on Tuesday. We do watch parties. We do a lot of fun. Make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/KnicksTV. All right, let's talk about what Tom Thibodeau had, or I guess Ian Begley had to say about Tom Thibodeau. Is it time for the Knicks to move off of Tom Thibodeau? I'll share some thoughts from Jonathan Macri of Knicks Film School in a second. He does a great job as well. But I want to point to this stat right here. The Knicks defensive rating is ranked 24th in the NBA. They're a bottom 6 defense in the NBA according to their defensive rating. I thought Tom Thibodeau was a defensive coach. We know he's not an offensive coach. Go watch the sets that the Knicks run on offense. They don't have an offense. It's Randle, get a bucket. Julius, go get a bucket. Barrett, go get a bucket. Brunson, go get a bucket. And then maybe someone catches and shoots a 3. So if you're not going to be good at defensive coaching anymore, and you're not a good offensive coach, why are you still the coach of our New York Knicks? This is what Ian Begley had to say. He said, just my guess, if you get a few more games like this, where the Knicks just aren't competing enough, look like they've let go of the rope for too long, I would expect there to be a significant change, whether it's Tom Thibodeau or something else. It needs to happen today. The game against the Thunder, a total joke. The game against the Nets, a total joke. The game against the Boston Celtics, a total joke. The last week and a half for the Knicks has been a total joke. They've been embarrassed in Madison Square Garden time and time again. I thought Jonathan Macri did a great job of breaking down what's happened in the past 2 weeks. He said over the last 12 days, Tom Thibodeau's Knicks have blown a 23-point home lead to the Hawks, gave up a franchise record 27 threes to the Celtics, also at home, were decimated by 27 by a Nets team that had been mired in turmoil just days earlier, and now gave up their most points in regulation in nearly 43 years. It is hard to give up 145 points in 4 quarters. Tibbs, your calling card is defense. The Knicks get consistently lit up from beyond the three-point arc. The game has just passed the old dog by. His idea of defense, protect the rim and paint at all times. That was cool in the 90s when teams were playing with 3 power forwards on the court at one time. Now when you have 5 players on the team that can knock down 3-point shots, it doesn't work. You consistently get burnt by perimeter defense day in and day out. Old dogs don't learn new tricks. Tibbs, he's an old dog. The thing is, the tricks he knew, the ones that made him a good defensive coach, those don't even work anymore. Tom Thibodeau has been a fraud this year. He preaches everything's merit-based, and you earn it. And why does Julius Randle get 30 minutes every night? He hasn't earned absolutely shit this year, especially not on the defensive end. You got Johnny Bryant on your bench. I don't know if he makes you a better team, but I think he gives you a better direction and a better way of playing basketball. So I'll ask you this. Should the Knicks fire Tom Thibodeau? Should they fire him? Type F for fire, type K for keep. I want to hear from you down in the comment section. And as always, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate everybody that makes New York Knicks Now a part of their day-to-day. It's been an up and down season. It feels like a roller coaster already, and I think we're only 13 games in. But we will be here all year long, videos every day. We go live for game days. We have a lot of fun, news, rumors. We break it down as soon as we get it. So subscribe, and if you made it this far in the video, I want you to type real one.